Alrighty, welcome to United Road Rocket League. I am Emil, your first caster, and we are here joined by Atlantic or Atlantis. Why did I say Atlantis? I'm a fan of the Arts Atlantic, but that's besides the point. We're seeing an electrifying Jersey squad consisting of a ethics, and he has just received a salary increase that I've been made aware of. So he's going to be one to watch this match, and we're also seeing a network and backwoods. And honestly, I'm going to go ahead and let you take over for the next squad, Atlantis.
Yeah, I mean, looking on the side of Buffalo, it's looking like we're gonna have Trav, Smurfy, and Angel of the Bronx playing. And I mean, both lineups, this may be LL, this may be the lowest division, but both teams are gonna be extremely competitive going into this. And that is something I've noticed a lot is oddly enough, the lowest league is the most competitive as everyone's fighting to get out of LL here.
Yeah, no, definitely. But man, I just feel like this is going to be so fun to watch. I mean, I know that all of these players really want to make it out of the Green League and hopefully can shape their way. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of aggression that we'll see here and maybe see a lot of lights for some of these players.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward. We've definitely got an interesting match coming up ahead of us. And again, like I said, Ethics definitely a player to keep an eye on. I mean, from what I understand about this season, he went from being a 100 sal last season to now being accused of being a Smurf. So
Yeah,
definitely
no.
going to
And
be an interesting match to see how he plays.
definitely. And I want to apologize. That was my fault. I thought it was a sell increase, but hey, perspective change, I guess. Maybe he didn't receive a sell increase and people just think he's better than how he plays. But we're about to find out as we were jumping into kickoff. And it looks like Travis going to win it here for Buffalo.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
not.
beginning a game, interesting kickoff coming out. I mean, it starts on the side of Buffalo getting a good kickoff, but immediately giving up that pressure to the Jersey squad. And I mean, that's a situation you got to play aggressive on those. You won the kickoff, keep the pressure up there. I mean, not much else I
Of
can say about
course.
that.
But honestly, I am seeing a lot of good decisions here for this Buffalo squad already. A lot of good mechanical decisions, even. And it looks like I'm honestly more worried for Jersey here, but I haven't seen much. And we're only started less than a minute.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I will say. A lot of people underestimate these LL squads, thinking you may be the lowest, you're not able to do as much, but there are a lot of LL players out there that can pull off some mechanics that even some of the higher ranks can't quite pull off. And I mean, an early shot coming out from Smurfy here to score off the pass from the Bronx, though.
Of course. And it's like you were saying, I mean, these players are really, I mean, there are a lot of them, and I would give it to just about any of them who are much better than the eyes perceive, right? And that is also why they come so aggressive in these matches. They just want some light onto their name.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a big thing. A lot of these players, I mean, you never know. It could be low rank because they spend a lot of time in free play. And I mean, Smurfy over here taking the bounce shot. Buffalo right now just playing an amazing game of Rocket League. Little bounce shot over, and Trav gonna try to steal it, not quite able to.
Yeah. Smurfy had to tell him it was his goal just for the moment. But here we are into another kickoff. Where is it going to go? Ethics with the first touch, but Trav able to clean it up as it's now corner on Jersey Snap.
Buffalo again coming off the pass from Travis. Murphy's just going to be there ready to play it over the defense of Jersey there. Two people in the net, neither quite able to get it, and that's going to put Buffalo up in a 3-0 lead. Right now, Jersey's got to figure some things out to bring this match back.
They do. They need to. And we're looking at an ethics play. Beautiful touch that's centered. Can he put it? No. Network just a little short, but that is A-okay. And maybe there's something for this Jersey squad coming up soon.
Yeah, I mean, Jersey, they're definitely getting the opportunities, and we're seeing a lot of what we saw last series as well, where Jersey's getting the opportunities much like Chicago was, but they're not quite able to put them in the net. And I'd like to see that turn around because I could see this definitely going to a game 7 if both teams can play their heart out. Although
Yeah, of course. And honestly, like we've been saying, keep an eye on Ethics, someone who manages to get every touch he wants thus far. I've seen it already.
yeah, I mean, Ethics is playing a great game, but so is Smurfy as well. I mean, he's just on top of every ball, and the dunk over Ethics. Could we see a double here? We can see a slight double coming out of Smurfy off that backboard, and just perfectly placed, dunked Ethics there, and just playing right off the
Yeah, no,
backboard
no.
around network.
Yeah, of course. It's Murphy saying, hey, I want some of that light too. Just having a good double play there.
Yeah, I mean, both teams so far playing good Rocket League, but Buffalo definitely have the number of jersey on this first game.
They do, and I think the one thing that they are suffering most from, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of good defense from Jersey, but they just didn't manage to not be able to get shot attempts. I mean, the shot disparity even, they have only got one shot attempt, and it comes from Ethics. Meanwhile, you look at Buffalo, and they just got so many shot attempts, and they're, well, now they're negative, but they were almost positive for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo sitting at 4 of their shots being goals out of 9 of them, and Jersey just now putting a second shot on net. That's a situation where they've got to get that figured out if they want to take it. But again, this is game 1. And one thing I will say, having played in this lower league, there are a lot of nerves going into game 1.
There are. I mean, you just got to understand that, everyone's different. It takes time to adjust as a team. It takes time. Even when you feel like you play with each other for forever, it's always the first match where you really settle in, I feel like. And I feel like we're going to see a lot more, maybe even balance going into this next game from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, again, it comes down to that first game, especially in the lower leagues. There are a lot of nerves, but it's also an opportunity just to kind of feel out the other team, see how they play. And maybe that is what Jersey is doing. Maybe they are just feeling out Buffalo, letting them take game 1. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they do.
Exactly.
What really matters is how they turn it around going into next game.
Of course, and something that I'm hoping Jersey is eyeing as we come to the final seconds of this first game is how sporadic Buffalo is. I mean, yes, they are up 4-0, but you cannot negate from the fact that Buffalo has just been very sporadic in all their attacks.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like Buffalo, again, like you said, with the other team, or with Baltimore last game, is they're everywhere and nowhere. Their players,
Exactly.
1 minute they're not there, in the next you turn on ball cam and they're in your face. That is a very hard play style to play against, and if Jersey can figure it out, they've got to play a really balanced offense defense. They got to get those rotations down, get the boost control down. If they can get that boost control, if they can get the bumps, demos on offense, they have a game.
They do. They do. It's Murphy just sends it. But one thing I want to say as we come to the last 15 seconds, that was a beautiful goal. But you cannot negate from the fact, I think we saw it with Jersey's first goal of the match, that maybe they're starting to figure it out, starting to see the pockets and just send a test shot to see where it went. And maybe we'll see a lot more this next game.
Not just a lot more attempts and making sure they've got that figured out, but they need to get Smurfy off the field. He has scored all 5 of Buffalo's shots.
They need to get him uncomfortable. They need to get him guessing. And that is where I think this game is going to come down to, is whether Jersey can get their players guessing on their next move.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a Buffalo offense where Smurfy has 8 shots and 5 of those are goals. They are giving him too much time, and that is something I've noticed throughout that first match is they just gave him time to do what he wants. You've got 3 people on the field. Send someone to pressure him.
Of course, and my thing is, I almost, even just sending one guy at a time, just to go knock some people, bump them. Bumps are so annoying. I'll say this, like, as a distant player of the game, the one thing with the bumps is you don't expect them, and if you do, it still throws you off because you have to react to prevent it, right? So even just sending someone around every once in a while to go for a bump if they're off course to redirect, I feel like that would go a long way in just trying to shake up their vision.
Yeah, no, and that's something even we pointed out in the previous series. We didn't really see a lot of the bumps and demos, and that can be the decider of the game, is going for that bump, risking it, sending that one man who's already hit the ball, sending it into a pass, clearing out the net for the shot. And if we're not doing that, unfortunately, it's not put us in a good situation. That's
Of
what I'd like to
course.
see Jersey definitely pick up on, is sending that first man for a bump after the pass.
Of course, and honestly, even with the win from first game, we also cannot take away from Buffalo and their ability to score. But what we can take away from is, like I said, they've been sporadic, and the problem with sporadic is again consistency. Right now, I've noticed the difference between this and the match we just casted is that Buffalo is a lot more sporadic. They don't see so constrained as we see from Bronx's missed attempt there. They seem to be sporadic, and it could either be good or bad. It was seen to be good last game, but then you have to wonder, when is it more just a test?
But again, coming in off of Smurfy there on the dribble shot, I mean, this is a man to watch, and this is the player of the night right now. Smurfy just shot after shot, goal after goal, and unless they can figure out how to stop Smurfy, it's not going to go well for Jersey.
It is, and honestly, I feel like Ethics, if he was just a bit faster, could have prevented that, but I think he hesitated before he made that decision. But now we're back to a Jersey offense for once, where we might see something.
Yeah, I mean, both teams playing really well, but again, it comes down to, even if it's just one player, that one player can dismantle an entire team if played right. And right now, that is what we are seeing the most, is just Smurfy playing every position so perfectly that unfortunately Jersey's just not able to beat them out.
Of course, but the thing about Smurfy is it's never a one-man game, right? So you also have to give the props to his teammate for having his back in the moments where he may be out of place. Because really what they're doing, even if the scoreboard doesn't say it, is they're really masking where he isn't. And that is a skill that most players struggle with on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, no, and that is one thing that Rocket League could really improve on overall, is it's got the scoreboard. Yes, everyone relies on the scoreboard. The scoreboard does not show every stat. There are so many times where those players who aren't putting up big stats are doing so much more to help their team than people realize.
Of course, and it's like if you want to compare it to other games, as Ethics might have a push here, it's almost like being a support player in I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, but
an
a
MMO
support player into a Smurfy goal. But anyway, like I'm trying to say, as a support player who may not have the stats, but you always feel their support, and you can tell when they're gone. And that's what happens in Rocket League. You have that person back, but when they're not there, it's catastrophic.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just an unfortunate goal for Buffalo there. Ethics trying to get the save and unfortunately puts it in. The big thing here is you can't let those own goals get to you, because it does happen. Even at the highest leagues, even in pro, you see the own goals. Do not let that get to you, that you messed up. Mistakes happen. It's part of playing a game.
Of course, and Ethics may have a push. Murphy gets the last tap, though, to prevent the goal. And unfortunately, no one's there for Jersey to get a push. Network sends it to the corner, and now I'm curious to see if Ethics have something here. Smurfy in again, backwards with the save. I'm going to hand it off to you. This is sporadic. I'm almost losing my breath.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, we're seeing Buffalo playing an amazing defense as well. And I mean, we're definitely seeing, we're at the same amount of shots, but so much earlier for Jersey. So they are putting on more pressure. But again, even look at the saves. They've got 2 shots. Buffalo's got 2 saves. But Buffalo over here has a total of 9 shots in half the game, with 3 of those being goals. But even then, Jersey putting up 6 saves. That is still a massive number of saves.
It is, but the problem that Jersey is having, I don't want to discredit their defense. It is their ability to push. I've seen multiple times where all it took was one guy waiting to follow, but everyone else was just too far back to make that follow-up. And it's like they're playing defensive, almost too defensive, to really push the net like they need to.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something we definitely want to see, especially going in next game, is maybe they pick up that offense, because right now our Buffalo's got them absolutely figured out. And Smurfy again being the man of the game, 4 goals already.
And
And I mean,
he just gave that ball a little love tap with his tire just to direct it right in there. And now we're looking at a 4-0 Buffalo lead once again.
yeah, I mean, if Buffalo can't figure out how to stop Smurfy on these shots, then unfortunately, sad to say, but they're not going to be able to take this series because Smurfy right now is the man on all of the goals. If you can stop him from taking the shots, then you might have an opportunity, but then you still got to worry about Trav and Bronx. I mean, they're still there on that field, and they could easily turn around and take the shot as well.
Exactly, and this is where I think even if you stopped Smurfy, if something happened with Jersey to stop Smurfy and his attempts, there are 2 other players on the field that you just are not thinking about right now who could easily pop off the scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real big situation here is figure out, take that third man or take that first man on his way back, try to clear out the front of net, keep them from getting a shot because, again, Smurfy just shot after shot. I mean, sitting at 8 shots, 5 goals. We're seeing a repeat of last game from him where he's just on point with every shot.
He is, and now we're looking at 5-0 for a Buffalo team, and this is catastrophic for Jersey. I cannot imagine this is how you wanted this to go for game 2. After losing game 1, Loop is sending it to Bronx. Bronx has got a clear ethics there, and now we're looking at maybe what could be just another Buffalo win, and it's unfortunate. As Backwoods pins it in the corner, despite the beautiful placement for Jersey to get that out.
Yeah, I mean, Jersey finally getting in a goal, and I mean, that's what I like to see. I like to see them getting in that goal. I mean, it's game 2. You're down 5-1. That's rough, but you take that momentum of the first goal, you build on it going into next game. You already know you've lost this game. There's not much you can do in a 5-1 scenario. Like, you just accept that you've lost it. You go into the next game, and you take the momentum that you just gained from that goal, and you build on it.
Yeah, you do. But again, that was just unfortunate for Buffalo on that goal. I mean, I thought they would have saved it if Smurfy sends it in there. Another Smurfy masterclass for game 2. Oh my lord. He's 6 for 9 for this game alone. You can only imagine the shot total and the goals going in to the match results within the series. That's going to be a large number to look at, I can already tell you.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. Buffalo putting on a total of 14 shots to Jersey's 4. That just goes to show the pressure that Buffalo is able to apply, and 9 of those alone coming off Smurfy. You guys cannot be giving him the time. And that is something I've noticed is Jersey is taking a lot of time on defense and giving Buffalo just way too much time to take the shots. If Jersey plays just slightly more aggressive, you've got 3 people back. Send one up. Put the pressure on that on that offense from Buffalo. Don't let them have control of the ball.
Exactly. Make them think, make them question, make them wonder what you're going to do next. Because right now, the thing with Jersey in Buffalo is beautifully capitalizing on this, is realizing that they're just staying back. And honestly, from Valpo Esports, which is a collegiate team that I play for, their biggest thing is they just hammer the ball. They hammer and hammer and hammer because teams don't know what to do when you do that. And Buffalo is just exploiting that measure for a team who cannot, um, turn around to an offensive strategy as they're stuck in a defensive mode. But you have to be able to push onto their offensive.
Yeah, I mean, even if it take some booms. Force them to play back so that when you do take control of the ball, they're forced back. You have a little bit more space. It's not always about controlling the ball, and that is a big misconception with this game is a lot of people think, oh, I have time, I need to control the ball. Sometimes you just need to bang it to force the other team off.
Exactly. And again, like, as long as you have that pressure, it's really not too important, Smurfy opens this one on a typical Smurfy goal, as we know he's been doing this entire match. But just being able to do that and shoot on the net will almost guarantee you goals for a match.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo has a way of forcing Jersey back, and unless Jersey can counter it, it's gonna be a rough fight and a very tough fight for Jersey to even have a chance of bringing this back. But I'd very much like to see them make that effort. They got to figure out something to slow down this offense of Buffalo.
Of course, and I do want to say that the third man was a little bit slow on that pressure there. He knew that he had a teammate rotating behind him. I feel like he waited just a little bit too long, which again comes to the defensive nature that we're seeing and their unwillingness to try and pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that is a big thing too. I've noticed it as well where Jersey, they're playing aggressive on the offense, but they're playing almost too aggressive on offense, but too passive on defense. They've got to find that balance.
Of course, and Bronx with a beautiful positioning for that save. Pinch off of Murphy. Now we got Backwoods already heading back for a network send to the other corner.
Bronx sending out mid though, right into the lap of one of the Jersey players, and that could be risky. Definitely Jersey looking like they're a little bit more solid this game than they have been in the past, but is it going to be enough?
They're applying a little bit more pressure, which I think they're starting to realize now, is that if they just shoot the ball, they might actually get some movement here.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely putting on the pressure they need. Ethics just unfortunately not able to get the touch he wants, though. And
It is unfortunate, and sometimes you just have games like that, but you got to credit they're at least putting pressure now. And we're looking at a Buffalo that is struggling to get the goals they're so familiar on having their way with.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure really is coming out from Jersey, and that's what we wanted to see going into this game, because right now, as it stands, this has been the most aggressive we have seen Jersey, and I feel like there's space for them to even build on this.
Of course, and again, like I'm saying, you just see it already. They have shifted to be more pressure, to be more aggressive, and it's paying off. I mean, if you just look at it to Buffalo's stance, right? They have their shot attempts, not much from previous games, but they have their shot attempts, but now they're struggling to get them to fall.
Yeah, and I mean, even at this point in the game, along the lines of pressure, we've already seen more shots come out from Jersey than we have in the previous two games, almost combined. If they even get one more shot opportunity, which will go in from network there, just a perfect shot below the crossbar.
Of course, and something else I've also noticed this game, which I have been pleading that they started doing, is the bumping, is the demos. I mean, if you look on the side cams, they have people running and bumping, and it's paying off. They know that they need to apply pressure, and we're seeing it live.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I was saying, we've already seen more shot opportunities this game than the last two games combined from Jersey, which is definitely a good sign for them. It's definitely showing a sign of life coming out. And that's what we wanted to see, because right now, as it stood, Buffalo just was unstoppable. And that's not a good situation to be in, because that is very rough on your mental, especially being in the lower level. You're thinking, all right, I've got to win. I got to get out of here. And when you're playing against players that are beating you as bad as Buffalo has, that is very rough.
It is. I got to give credit where it's due, because they are making adjustments, and we're looking at a very close game as we near almost less than a minute.
Yeah, and I mean, Jersey, even right there, just the pressure on the shooter right there was just so much stronger than we've seen on any other game. Again, credit due for Jersey right there, just absolutely showing up this game compared to last game. But we did see this again. We saw this last series as well, where Chicago ended up bringing up the pressure and just weren't quite able to finish it out. So can Jersey make that change to finish out the match and win it?
And again, Ethics with a beautiful bump to prevent what would have been unfortunate. Okay, Trav, just wrecking the dreams. But we still have 30 seconds, and anything can happen, because this is Rocket League. We've seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, 30 seconds, a lot can happen, especially at the lower levels. A lot can happen. You never know what's coming up.
Of course, and again, Smurfy is
Buffalo.
demoed.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely doing what they need to. And this is what I said from game 1 and 2. You get Smurfy off the ball, you have an opportunity. Yes, you've still got Trav. Yes, you've still got Bronx. But how effective have either of them been on the shots compared to Smurfy?
That's exactly what they've been doing though. And like I said, I've saw the tweet they made. They've been more aggressive. They've been more a prowess. You know, they've been more annoying, just letting out bumps. And like I said, those are the little things that throw a team off. Is when they have to worry about who they don't see.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jersey coming in, you can see the changes they've made. And that is the big thing. They are visually making changes. It is noticeable and noticeably different compared to how they played game 1. And that's what I like to see. They made that game a lot closer than the previous two. And well done by Jersey to do that.
Well done indeed. And as we have a kickoff, it's pretty split even, but Network's going to have this one. And that is centered. Can someone on Jersey capitalize? It doesn't look like it. Smurfy's going to have that save. And now that's corner for an ethics shot attempt. Too far to the left. And now we got it in the corner. Is Angel, as Bronx, as a demo, as pressure and ethics. Now again, sending it deep. Maybe we have a game here once and for all.
Yeah, I mean, really good pressure already coming out from Jersey. Could have probably capitalized on that first opportunity, but unfortunately a missed turn. But
of course,
they still
and
got
that's beautiful
so
right
much
there.
more pressure.
Trav's gonna have that sent. That's the ethics. Sending it corner is gonna bounce right back. Trav's there for the clear. Someone from Jersey's got to capitalize on that placement. And
yeah,
someone
but I am
does backwood.
I will say Jersey is definitely playing a lot heavier pressure than even we saw last game. They're not giving Smurfy any time. They're making him do something with the ball, which is what they've needed to do.
Exactly. And again, my thing with Jersey this time around is even compared to last game, you see the changes. They look much more formulated. They look much more like a team that understands their matchup this time around.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing, again, a lot like what we saw in the first series where even here, Jersey is playing really heavy on that three-man aggression, and they're doing a lot better at containing it, even compared to our NCS match with Chicago. They just weren't able to find that pressure to stop it, but Jersey has seemed to crack that code.
They have, and honestly, someone's got to stop Trav here, meet him even for goal, as Network does, and that's sent. Smurfy's there, though. Someone's got to meet him at the ground, I hope. Backwoods has got to clear. That clear is going again to Backwoods. Can I get it? No, that's out. Out to mid to a Network. And it's coming around for a loop back to Murphy.
Yeah, I mean, both teams playing an amazing game right now, keeping the ball mid. Both teams. One thing I will say about this matchup so far, I have not had any issue with players grabbing boost. I've noticed a lot of the times they run into one player low on boost, but they've always got at least 1 to 2 players with full boost, keeping pressure on the ball, giving the other players time to grab boost. And that is a big deal.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'll let you finish. Yeah. Welcome to United Road, guys. Nice to meet you.
But no, that boost is the game changer right there.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say is if it's something they can make that micro adjustment towards now of maybe trying to starve the other team while they're not focused for Jersey, that could be very beneficial.
Yeah, we're seeing both teams though playing really well on the boost. You're not really seeing either team have players completely out of boost. You might see 1 or 2 here and there, but again, like I was saying, you've got that first man playing aggression, giving the other players time to actually grab boost.
And Backwoods going to be there for the clear to the corner. Trav's going to be able to follow, though. Maybe we got a shot attempt here. No, it's a clear for Network. And I don't like the way Smurfy's on this ball. Ethics able to send it, though. Can Ethics follow? It's scary when Murphy has his touches, and he has one now.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're starting to see a little bit more aggression coming out from Buffalo, and it is going to work out in their favor as Bronx is able to sneak it past all the defenders right into the net. A great demo coming out here. I mean, it's just
Of
perfectly
course, of
played, keeping
course.
the one defender that could get back from getting back.
And like I was saying, it is always scary when Smurfy has his touches, even if it's not direct. You saw him get that clear out to that goal, and maybe they get their first here. No, because Smurfy's their first save, but Backwood's able to clean it up for them.
Yeah, I mean, perfect play here, perfect positioning from Backwoods. Ethics gets the touch down. Smurfy not quite able to clear it as far as he would like, and Backwoods just there to recover in perfect positioning. That makes such a difference in gameplay, is the positioning of your second man.
Of course, and Trav is able to knock that over the top of what would be a Backwoods clear. Ethics gets a nice touch to keep it out of the net, though.
Yeah, Ethics, perfect timing on that save. Any later, and that is a goal for Buffalo, but he is able to get there just in time. An unfortunate miss. Not sure what happened coming off the side of Jersey.
I had no clue. I want to know if someone committed too early. Ethics committed too early, so it looks. I
I
honestly think
don't.
he could have stayed grounded just a second longer to see what that ball was doing, but it is a-okay. We're looking at 1-2, 38 seconds left, and maybe Ethics has one more up their sleeve. Can Bronx save it? We almost had a double. Smurfy into Network. Network has got the corner. Backwoods has got the corner. Trap back to the corner. A lot of gameplay into the corner. And now we have Bronx in control here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. It looked almost like Ethics had misflipped in that previous goal, but you can't let that get you down. Yeah, mistakes happen, and I mean, that's the roughest part of Rocket League, especially as a player at this rank. I mean, you're expecting these mistakes. They're going to happen, but you got to move past them. And
Of course.
Smurfy is able to get the clear opening all the way downfield off the pass from Angel out of the corner. And
That
that looks like
is
that's probably going to be the nail in the
that's
coffin for Jersey.
unfortunate. And again, very similar to the last match we reviewed. We've seen the adjustments, we've seen the changes, and they look like a better team every match. And that is it, as Buffalo takes this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jersey, you guys came out. You played an amazing game tonight. Do not, do not beat yourselves up for this season. You guys played amazing. You guys still made it to playoffs. Buffalo, you guys fought tooth and nail to take this game. And Smurfy, I definitely believe you have received MVP for tonight.
100%. And again, just to speak on Jersey's behalf, you guys cannot look down upon yourselves. This was beautiful across all panels. We've seen everyone struggle. We've seen everyone blossom on that team. Um, and unfortunately, Buffalo just had the better edge.
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo, you guys played absolutely tremendously. Smurfy, again, your shot accuracy is just absolutely insane. And I believe every player on this field tonight definitely has the potential to go somewhere. It's just there's some small mistakes that happen, and I mean that's part of Rocket League. You're gonna make mistakes.
You
I know
are gonna
even the
make
like look at the
mistakes.
pro league, they still make mistakes. How many times have we seen a pro player miss the ball and end up in a goal or own goal?
We
It
saw it. We saw it
happens.
last match, right? We've seen champs miss, GCs. We've seen SSLs. No one's exempt from mistakes, but it's how you learn from them, right? It's how you apply that logic, how you micro adjust, how you take it, and maybe not even think about it. Maybe you just move on to the next play during the match, because in reality, it's not about what you didn't do. It's about what you could do.
Exactly. And I mean that's unfortunate. That's part of Rocket League. You're gonna make mistakes and it happens. The big thing is don't let that affect the rest of your games. Just move past it. It happens. You do have bad games. You have good games. And unfortunately, Night Jersey was just not your guys' night.
It wasn't, but that does mean Buffalo is moving on, and unfortunately, that would be it. Um, yeah, I appreciate you guys for stopping in for our United Rogue Rocket League broadcast tonight. And even though it was a 4-0 sweep, it was competitive and it was beautiful. I will catch you guys on the flip side.
You all have a good night.